Have you ever wondered why, after reaching the age of 80, visits to others become less frequent or cease entirely? There's a perfectly understandable reason behind this phenomenon. It's an undeniable truth, rarely discussed openly, yet it affects a significant number of older adults. As years pass, human needs, energy levels, and life priorities undergo substantial changes. This fully applies to how and when individuals interact with others. If you or your loved ones notice fewer visits or find more peace in solitude, understand that this isn't unique. This material aims to uncover the deeper reasons behind this natural transformation, explaining why such behavior is not only normal, but can also mark a very positive stage in one's life. Today's discussion will focus on 5 key factors explaining why many people over 80 reduce or stop visiting others. These aren't just excuses or signs of social isolation. Rather, they reflect changing physical capabilities, evolving emotional needs, and the formation of new ways to find meaning and maintain connections. A deep understanding of this reality will help you accept what's happening with unwavering confidence and no guilt. Readers will not only grasp the reasons for these transformations, but also discover effective methods for maintaining meaningful relationships and personal well-being, harmonizing with their current life stage. This is a completely new chapter, and when perceived correctly, it can be filled with inner peace, genuine sincerity, and true joy. Let's begin. The primary reason is the natural limitation of physical energy and a decline in overall health. As individuals reach advanced age and cross the 80-year mark, a significant number experience a natural decrease in vitality and a decline in physical well-being. This isn't just ordinary fatigue after a busy day. It's a much deeper transformation in how the body reacts to any activity, including routine social interactions. Simple actions like getting dressed, moving to a vehicle, or even sitting comfortably for extended periods can become exhausting trials. Such physical exertion makes the idea of frequent meetings less appealing and significantly complicates their practical execution. Consider Galina, an 82-year-old retired teacher from Nizhny Novgorod. In the past, she genuinely enjoyed visiting friends, actively participating in cultural events at the local community center, and attending various interest groups. However, with the progression of arthritis and a steady decline in overall stamina, all these activities became increasingly difficult. What once brought her genuine joy and inspiration now felt like an onerous obligation. Instead of drawing energy and positive emotions from socializing, Galina felt profoundly exhausted and needed several days to fully recover. The essence wasn't her desire to withdraw. Her body simply required proper rest, and the effort needed for an active social life no longer justified itself. Common health issues among older adults, such as chronic joint pain, various cardiovascular conditions, or breathing difficulties, only exacerbate fatigue. Even the journey to and from a meeting place can become a source of potential risk or significant discomfort, and direct visits can worsen existing ailments, forcing older adults to be more cautious about such events. It's crucial to understand. Reduced social activity at this age is not a sign of weakness or loneliness, but rather an adaptive response to changed physical realities. It's a thoughtful way to conserve precious energy for truly meaningful moments, whether it's time spent with loved ones, quiet moments alone, or simply maintaining one's health. Moreover, many older adults become more active and conscious about self-care as they age. They come to understand that maintaining well-being requires a strict balance between activity and adequate rest, avoiding excessive overexertion, and listening carefully to their body signals. This balanced approach helps prevent potential injuries and significantly improves overall quality of life. A deep understanding of these physical limitations offers a new perspective on why the number of in-person meetings naturally decreases with age. Instead of forcibly burdening oneself with activities that inevitably cause physical exhaustion or discomfort, it's far more reasonable to focus on genuine and manageable forms of interaction that harmoniously align with current energy levels. This shift allows older adults to maintain an active social life on their own terms, building deeper and truly satisfying relationships without undue stress or overexertion. It also opens new horizons for alternative interaction methods that don't require significant physical effort. Accepting the inevitability of physical slowing is a fundamental step towards dignified and healthy aging. This means showing deep respect for one's body's needs while continuing to maintain meaningful connections with others in a format that brings genuine joy and can be sustained long-term. This natural adjustment protects not only physical health, but also inner harmony. Now, let's explore how communication priorities transform with age and how this influences interaction choices. Second, communication priorities shift towards quality over quantity. As people reach their 80s, their social priorities often undergo significant changes. Instead of striving to maintain a wide circle of acquaintances or numerous superficial friends, attention increasingly focuses on deeper, truly meaningful relationships with a select few close individuals. This transition doesn't mean a person is trying to withdraw from the world. Rather, it reflects a conscious desire to invest precious time and limited energy into connections that genuinely matter and bring emotional satisfaction. This is a deliberate and thoughtful decision to prioritize quality over quantity. Consider Victor, an 85-year-old retired librarian from Samara. In his younger years, he was extremely active, attending countless meetings, clubs, and various events at the city's cultural center. However, over the years, he increasingly found deep pleasure in quiet days spent with his daughter or longtime, trusted friends. He noticed that these moments brought him true joy and genuine emotional comfort, unlike the busy and sometimes exhausting schedule he once had. This shift in priorities is also closely linked to a deeper understanding of what social interaction truly provides. Instead of spreading themselves thin across many contacts, older adults purposefully seek connections that offer emotional support, deep understanding, and a sense of shared history. Such relationships are perceived as more authentic and less tiring, thus having an exclusively positive impact on overall well-being. Furthermore, with age, people become more acutely aware that time and energy are limited resources, leading them to be more thoughtful about who and how they choose to socialize with. By choosing to interact with those who truly fill them with warmth and support, older adults can maintain strong and meaningful connections without feeling overwhelmed or chronically fatigued. This selective approach also helps reduce social fatigue, which becomes a very real issue amid the physical and mental challenges of aging. From a psychological perspective, this shift contributes to strengthening emotional resilience and maintaining mental health. Deep and sincere connections provide a sense of belonging and purpose, which is crucial for preserving joy in life and reducing feelings of loneliness. Older adults often prefer heartfelt conversations in small groups over noisy gatherings, choosing sincerity and intimacy over the number of contacts. Understanding this natural evolution of social priorities helps explain why many older adults gradually stop attending frequent meetings or large events. It's not about voluntary isolation, but about respecting what truly nourishes their inner world and brings satisfaction. This awareness can also help family members and friends understand and accept the choices of older generations, supporting them in their pursuit of authentic and meaningful relationships. Next, we'll see how emotional needs also evolve with age, increasingly manifesting as a desire for solitude and quiet reflection, which can be just as valuable as lively interaction. Let's continue our narrative. Third, emotional needs change, and individuals increasingly seek solitude. As we advance into our 80s, the way we perceive and fulfill our emotional needs often undergoes profound and irreversible changes. Many older adults find that solitude becomes not a sign of loneliness or social detachment, but rather a source of deep peace, inner satisfaction, and self-reflection. This shift might seem unexpected, especially for those who led extremely active social lives throughout their lives. However, it reflects a natural and entirely healthy change in how a person interacts with themselves and the world around them. Consider Margarita, a 79-year-old retired artist from the Moscow region. For decades, she actively participated in her local community, regularly attended family celebrations, volunteered, and joined creative groups. However, in recent years, Margarita particularly values quiet mornings spent reading a captivating book or solitary walks in nature. She asserts that these moments provide her with a necessary energy boost, inner balance, and a deep sense of peace that she no longer finds in noisy, crowded gatherings. This emotional change is not an escape from the world or detachment, but rather a fine-tuning to what truly nourishes her soul and brings tranquility. Numerous studies confirm that a significant portion of older adults draw emotional strength and inner harmony precisely from solitude and reflective activities. Solitude, in this context, helps develop mindfulness, fosters self-acceptance, and strengthens emotional resilience, which in turn effectively reduces anxiety and depressive symptoms. Such inner peace plays an exceptionally important role in maintaining mental health in old age. It's also crucial to understand the desire for solitude does not mean complete detachment from loved ones. Many older adults experience deep joy from quiet shared presence, without feeling the pressure to constantly talk or be active participants in conversation. They enjoy simply sitting next to a spouse, listening to favorite music, or sharing silence. These moments satisfy their emotional needs without undue strain or physical fatigue. Society often undervalues this form of interaction, mistakenly equating solitude with social isolation. But for many older adults, choosing solitude is an active, conscious, and positive decision that supports their health and contributes to a sense of inner happiness. It's a time dedicated to deep reflection, creative activity, and reconnecting with what is truly important and valuable. Recognizing and respecting these changed emotional needs helps older adults live authentically, in harmony with themselves, and without the slightest feeling of guilt. This encourages self-creation and self-acceptance, which is a fundamental basis for a full and meaningful life. Family members and caregivers can also provide significant support to their loved ones by understanding that a reduction in meetings is not necessarily a sign of sadness or despondency, but can be a manifestation of inner stability and deep emotional maturity. When contemplating such changes, always remember, caring for one's inner world through solitude can be as valuable and necessary as maintaining active social connections. The balance between socializing and solitude is a deeply individual state that changes over time and reflects the richness and depth of life in old age. Next, we will discuss how social interactions can sometimes become a source of overstimulation and why reducing visits is a wise and far-sighted way to protect one's mental energy. Fourth, social interactions can become a source of stress and overstimulation. With age, what once felt like pleasant and joyful socializing can begin to feel like a genuine challenge. Many older adults notice that gatherings they once eagerly anticipated now cause stress or lead to profound fatigue. This doesn't mean they've stopped valuing their relationships or lost interest in people. On the contrary, precisely because these connections remain important, they increasingly feel that the social environment and the energy required to fully participate in it change drastically with age. Consider Yuri, an 80-year-old retired engineer from Ekaterinburg. He was once the life of the party, happily participating in family celebrations, lively gatherings with friends, and various events. But over time, he began to notice that the noise, rapid conversations, and a need to quickly react and concentrate during visits left him completely exhausted. It wasn't just physical fatigue. The mental strain associated with processing large amounts of information and constant attention became too heavy a burden for him. As a result, Yuri began regularly declining invitations, preferring small, quiet meetings or phone calls. This experience is very common among older adults. Sensory overload, hearing difficulties in noisy environments, and cognitive strain from fast or complex conversations all transform ordinary visits into draining and unpleasant events. They often lead to deep fatigue, anxiety, and even irritability, making subsequent meetings less desirable and appealing. The energy cost of socializing becomes too high for them. Another important factor is the unpredictability of some social situations. Sudden topic changes, arguments, or unexpected guests. All of this can cause significant discomfort or stress. It becomes increasingly difficult for the older generation to cope with such moments, and they begin to prefer calmer, more controlled environments. This desire for predictability and peace of mind is a natural adaptation that helps maintain emotional balance and inner harmony. Recognizing such feelings as normal, not a problem, helps older adults shed the guilt that sometimes arises from declining social engagements. It's not about rejecting loved ones, but about preserving mental health and respecting personal boundaries. This shift also explains why many older adults prefer gentler forms of communication. Phone calls, texting, video calls, which allow them to maintain contact without sensory and emotional overload. Family and friends can provide invaluable support by understanding these natural changes and creating forms of communication that bring joy and comfort, not pressure and fatigue. Next, we'll discuss how modern technology offers excellent alternatives for maintaining contact without the need for in-person visits, and how this significantly simplifies preserving warm connections in old age. Fifth, technology opens alternative ways of communication. In a modern world, staying connected with loved ones and friends doesn't necessarily mean tiring trips or in-person visits. For older adults, technology has opened entirely new horizons for maintaining warm and meaningful relationships without the physical burden inevitably associated with traditional socializing. While the idea of using phones, tablets, or computers might initially seem complex for some older individuals, these tools offer amazing prospects. They allow for maintaining friendships, strengthening family ties, and actively participating in community life without leaving one's home. Take Elena, a 78-year-old grandmother from Rostov-on-Don, who began regularly seeing her grandchildren via video calls despite living far away. What once required exhausting and lengthy trips has transformed into a joyful daily habit of sharing stories, laughing, and attending birthdays or holidays, albeit virtually. Elena's experience vividly reflects a growing trend. More older adults are actively embracing modern technologies to bridge physical distance and reduce physical strain. Video calls, phone conversations, social media, and messaging apps allow for regular and meaningful communication without the need to dress up, travel, or endure noise. Such flexibility respects the changing energy levels and health of older adults, allowing them to choose when and how to communicate in the most convenient and enjoyable way. Beyond a family circle, online interest communities open entirely new horizons for social interaction. People can find others who share their hobbies, views, or life experiences, whether it's a book club, a gardening forum, or a support group. These virtual spaces create a sense of belonging and stimulate mental activity. It's also important that technology can provide a sense of security. For those with mobility issues or living alone, the ability to quickly connect via phone or video call offers reassurance and significantly reduces feelings of isolation. This helps maintain independence without losing connection with loved ones. While technology certainly requires learning, many community centers, cultural institutions, and volunteer organizations now offer specialized training and support specifically for older adults. Mastering such tools can become a source of new self-confidence and significantly expand social horizons that were previously inaccessible. Understanding that communication at 80 looks different is crucial. The essence of human connection is to be heard, seen, and valued. Modern technologies can effectively support this feeling, considering both the physical and emotional needs of older adults. If you're thinking about your social life or that of a loved one, consider how embracing technology can enrich relationships without disrupting inner balance. This balance can bring joy and comfort at this beautiful stage of life. Next, we'll share some concluding thoughts to help you embrace all these natural changes with confidence and inner dignity. Concluding thoughts. Reducing frequent visits and gatherings after 80 is not something to feel ashamed or guilty about. It's something to deeply understand, accept, and even celebrate as a natural stage of life. With age come many changes, and the most important ones are those that allow us to slow down, listen to our true needs, and live in harmony with ourselves. You don't become less yourself when you choose rest over usual meetings or quiet instead of noisy dinners. You simply begin to feel more deeply what truly brings you peace, comfort, and authenticity. This content isn't created to dictate how you should live. It's here to affirm that how you live now is valuable and beautiful. You are conserving your energy, focusing on truly important relationships, finding joy in solitude, and opening up to new ways of being close to loved ones. We're too often made to feel guilty for doing less. But sometimes, doing less helps us feel more stability, more peace, more acceptance of the season of life we are in. So, if you've started visiting people less often, choosing phone calls over long trips, or finding peace in your personal space, you are not alone. You are doing what many wise and conscious people do. Protect your well-being and respect what is truly important to you. And in this choice lies true strength.